Last week we got the Cub Cadet LTX1040 running and starting. This week we're going to replace all the belts. So there's two belts here. You've got this belt, which is your main drive belt, and then this little one in the back here that you really can't see, this one right here. This is your upper drive belt. It's really simple to change. You have to take this pulley off. This lower pulley here is for the mowing deck. This upper pulley here is the pulley that actually drives the drive belt. In order to get this belt off, we have to remove this pulley assembly, and then we also have to loosen this spring tensioner, which will allow this to loosen up the upper drive belt. And honestly, we should be able to have this changed out in less than an hour. Let's do it. This bolt right here, 5/8, and I'm going to use this impact gun to hopefully take it right off. Uh-oh. Should get all kinds of slack. And then you can see this upper drive belt right here, so we'll get that swapped out. When you put this back on, you want to make sure this right here is the steering shaft, so you want to make sure the belt is on this side of the steering shaft. Once you have it all loose, it should just pull right out. Then we can go ahead and take that upper belt off too. All right, there's the upper belt and there's the lower belt. This is the belt I'm using for the upper drive belt. Hopefully it fits. This is the belt I'm using for the lower drive belt. So installing them should be just the reverse of how you took them off at this point. So let's see how we do. I struggled a little bit with those belt keepers, but I think we'll be all right. I just realized before you put the upper belt on, you got to put the lower belt on. It goes on that back pulley, and it goes on the bottom sheave of the pulley. I think it's called the sheave, not really sure. Anyway, it goes on the bottom. There's two pulleys, one on top of each other, it goes on the bottom. Ran into a problem with the new upper drive belt. This belt keeper right here is causing me a little problem. The new belt won't fit past it, so I'm going to take this pulley off. There's a bolt right here. I'm going to get it from over there at the hole in the fender for the battery. I'm going to just like loosen this up a little bit, put this on, then tighten it back down. All right, that was a little bit of a struggle. I got it on. If I push down on the pedal, you can see this actuates. And clearly the new belts go on a little harder than the old stretched out ones came off. But my one advice to you would be to just loosen up your pulley so you can get the belt by the keeper. Let me show you what I got underneath the seat here. All right, so this is your upper drive belt right here, and that goes over to that pulley right there. It comes up to this pulley. This pulley has the upper belt right here, and then right back in there is the lower belt that goes that way. So this is your upper belt, that's your lower belt. The upper belt goes around this pulley that I already showed you from the other side, comes through, and then this is the drive belt that goes up to the pulley off the motor. So now I got to go ahead and put this spring back on, tighten up that bolt for the front pulley, and then in theory, at least on paper, it should drive. but I can't drive it until I put oil in it. So now I'm gonna go get oil. All right, we put the battery in, we put some oil in it, we fired it up, and the tractor does move forward and backward, so that's a success. However, we haven't taken it for a test drive yet because we still got to do the belt on this, which shouldn't be too difficult. We're going to take these two plastic guards off. We may have to loosen this to get the belt past that keeper, but I don't think it's going to be a big deal. Famous last words. This is your manual deck engagement, and you want to make sure that your belt goes over the top of that. So I almost just put it on wrong, but I caught myself. Okay, the hood is on. I even fixed the headlights, so both headlights should work now. We only had one before. We got the mowing deck back on. It raises and lowers. This feels like it's engaging. So we'll see if the mower deck engages. And we are styling. Well, definitely does drive better. You can notice the belts. Let's see if the mower engages. All right. Here we go. I think we're too low. Bring it up 2 notches. 2 notches. All right, remember that little cam thing on the drive belt, the lower drive belt? Yeah, the belt just popped off of that thing, so we are broke down. I don't know if you can see it in there or not, but this little cam up in here, that belt just popped right off of there. All right, I pushed it back up here to the garage. I crawled under there. It wasn't really fun. And this is a picture of the old belt, but this is where it fell off, and I don't really know why. I put it back on, made sure everything's tight, and I guess we'll go for another ride. Cross your fingers. All right, we have a problem. The mower stopped mowing, and it looks like that one of those belts jumped the son of a gun. What is going on here? I think I know why it fell off. There's 2 shoes on there, and I bet you they kicked the belt off if you go into reverse, and that's exactly what I did. I just cut for about half hour, did most of my front yard, did a little bit in the backyard. The drive belt came off in the backyard. I'm not really sure why. I was going up a hill and making a turn at the time that it did, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it. The mower belt came off. I think that's because I tried to go in reverse while the mowing deck was engaged, and I didn't put it into reverse mode and hit the button. And you may remember seeing them on there. There's like these little cogs that kick on, and I think it's designed to make the belt come off should you try to back up without hitting the reverse button. Other than that, it works great. We do have one more issue that we have to deal with though. In my last video, I had a comment from a viewer that said, check the valve cover gasket in the front and see if that's where the oil dripping on the exhaust is coming from. And sure enough, you can see it right there that the cork gasket is definitely leaking oil. It's not actively smoking right now. I think it just drips after the tractor cools down. So I've ordered a new gasket. It's like $8. So when that comes in, we will install that gasket. There's a couple of grease fittings on here that I'll grease, And then he should have a tractor that's going to run for quite a while. I did add 5 pounds of air in the left side rear tire, and it appears to be mowing level. So I guess that's it for this video. If you made it all the way to the end, I appreciate you. You are better than most. And I hope I'll see you in the next video when we do that gasket on the front of the motor. And then we'll get into this. I got to install a new chain, and we're also going to change the oil in the differential or gearbox, whatever you want to call it. Thanks for watching.